Welcome back. China Petroleum and Chemical Corporation is nearing an agreement to buy a majority stake in Chevron Corporation's South African assets, which are estimated at $1 billion. Sinopec, Asia's largest oil refiner, was the last bidder remaining and close to completing a deal with a U.S. oil major. If the deal is finalized, it will be Sinopec's first refinery asset in Africa, forming a part of the Chinese major's global fuel distribution network. Chevron first announced plans in January 2016 to sell the stake in the business unit, which includes a 110,000 barrels per day refinery in Cape Town, South Africa. In the meantime, South Africa's Constitutional Court has ordered the government to pay social grants on April 1 via its current service provider, seeking to end the fiasco that has threatened the payment of benefits to 17 million people. The court also says the grant-paying company had to do so under the terms of its existing contract for 12 months before a new deal could be adopted. Justice Joanne Froman says that the extraordinary conduct of South Africa's Social Security Agency, the government department responsible, and its leader had jeopardized the right of millions of people's right to Social Security. The mess stems from the Social Welfare Department failing to take responsibility for social service payments or find a new provider after the Constitutional Court ruled several years ago that the contract was unsound. In Congo Republic, the economy is expected to grow by 1% in 2017 after contracting 2.1% last year, owing to increased oil production. The statement by the National Monetary and Financial Committee says growth will be lifted by this week's start of production at Total's Moho Nord oil field, which will have a production capacity of 100,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Congo is set to leapfrog Equatorial Guinea this year to become sub-Saharan Africa's third largest crude producer. And of course, Nigerian banks have opposed a proposal by Etisalat Nigeria to convert part of a $1.2 billion loan from dollars into naira, and want Abu Dhabi Telecoms Group Etisalat and its other shareholders to recapitalize it instead. Reports say the 7-year syndicated loan on which Etisalat Nigeria missed a payment has a dollar portion of $235 million, which the telecoms operator wants to convert into naira to overcome hard currency shortages on Nigeria's interbank market. The UAE's Etisalat own 45% of Etisalat Nigeria, while Abu Dhabi's Mubadala owns 40% of the company, which is due to meet its lenders on Thursday for debt talks mediated by Nigeria's central bank and the telecoms regulator. This meeting came about after authorities agreed with local banks to prevent Etisalat Nigeria going into receivership. Zimbabwe is expected to increase tobacco output this year to about 205 million kilograms compared to 202 million kilograms last year after more farmers cultivated the crop. Tobacco sales could ease cash shortages in the country. As a result, tobacco is the Southern African nation's single largest export commodity ahead of platinum and gold.
Marking the start of annual tobacco auctions in Harare, Tobacco Industry and Marketing Board spokesman Ishienesu Moyo says output will climb from 202 million kilograms in 2016 after more farmers grew the crop. Tobacco is Zimbabwe's biggest export earner, bringing in more revenue than gold and platinum. Zimbabwe exports the bulk of its tobacco to China, which has become the largest investor in the southern African country.
This season we've mobilized 700 million to buy tobacco from the farmers. Last season farmers benefited about 585 to 600 million from the sale of tobacco. We expect it to be a better year in terms of output, because last season we sold about 202.2 million kgs, and this season we expect more because we have got better quality this year, and when you've got better quality, the likelihood is that you're also going to have more in terms of output.
Zimbabwe is desperately short of dollars due to its moribund economy, although traditionally, liquidity improves during the tobacco selling season as cash is brought into the country. Tobacco buyers had borrowed $700 million offshore to purchase the crop from farmers. The merchants processed the leaf before exporting it. Tobacco farmers will be allowed to withdraw $1,000 from banks per day to allow them purchase farming inputs for next season.
As indigenous buyers, we're looking forward to capacitating the market. It's a huge market. It's $1 billion market, and we need to have a share of that. We're going to work with other, big players so that, as locals we benefit, international buyers they benefit, our farmers they benefit from competitive prices.
Okay, today I brought in 2,500 kgs. I'm expecting an average price of $3.50, with the highest price being maybe $4.99. I'm expecting like quick processing of our sales sheets so that we can access our cash easily from the banks.
President Robert Mugabe's government blames the shortages on the illegal export of US dollars, weak commodity prices and falling remittances from Zimbabweans in the diaspora.
And in Egypt, Cairo residents are being offered money in exchange for their recyclable garbage as part of efforts to clean the city's streets and reduce the enormous landfill waste produced in the teeming metropolis of 22 million.
Two kiosks in the historic Cairo neighborhood of Heliopolis began buying cans, bottles, paper and various types of plastic from the public last week. The response has been enthusiastic, with local children volunteering to dispose household waste and earn extra pocket money.
The idea is simply to give value to garbage, so instead of throwing it out, people can benefit from it, and that helps us keep our streets clean.
The project was spearheaded by two members of Egypt's parliament who successfully launched similar initiatives in other cities on a smaller scale. The kiosks compress and sell the material to factories for reuse. The price for each type of recyclable item is posted on a large green sign on the front of the kiosk. A kilogram of aluminium can goes for 9 Egyptian pounds. A kilogram of cardboard goes for £1.
They deal with us through this window, where there's a scale and two screens, one on the front for them to see and one in the back for us, and we have set prices for everything. The weight determines the price, and they see the weight, and we have on display the list of prices for everything, and they take the money right away. They don't take coupons or anything. They take the money right away.
And despite the low prices, the financial incentive is worthwhile for many in Egypt, where millions live a paycheck from hunger, and an established network of informal waste collectors already pick up, sell or recycle household garbage.
And that's it on the program. Thank you very much for being part of it. We hope to see you again next week.